My name's Eddie Hood.
And I'm Ann Whitaker.
We're here with you at Ignite Spot, and today we are interviewing Brock Blake. He's the CEO of Lendio. We have clients all over the country that turn to us for accounting and finance help, and they're always asking us about ways to get lending for their businesses or more financing, and Brock's kind of one of the gurus in this space. I know Brock personally, and he's been gracious enough to spend some time with us, so thanks for hanging out, Brock.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me today.
Very good. So if you guys don't know what Lendio is, I'm going to have Brock give you the spiel, but he's built a really impressive company. I've followed it since its inception. Absolutely love what these guys are doing. But Brock, if it's all right, we haven't gone over any of these questions. We're just going to put them right on the spot here. So these are real honest, real good questions. So really wanted to ask, why don't you give us a quick spiel on what Lendio is and what it does?
Yeah, so first of all, Lendio is a marketplace to help business owners get the financing they need. And so think about this, you're a restaurant owner, landscaper, dry cleaner, whatever it is, the type of business you have. Okay. And you're looking for financing to grow your business. And you might think, I'm going to go to my local bank and I'm going to apply for a loan. And unfortunately, like 95% of the time they do that, they get declined. Right. And it's a painful experience. You filled out all these long form applications, you got your credit pulled and all that kind of stuff. So what we do is we've gone out and attracted hundreds of lenders from across the country that offer every type of business loan product you can think of, from merchant cash advance to SBA to equipment and business credit card, term loans, lines of credit, factoring, all those different loan products, brought them in one spot and made it simple for that business owner to get the loan that they need. And actually, we talk about it in three ways. First is options, so all the options in one place. Second is speed. Instead of taking months to get the loan, it's days.
Horrible. Yeah, great.
So speed, and then finally is trust, that you get a white glove experience that you're going to tell your friends about. So,
nice. Okay.
And it's free. We make money from the lender.
Oh, so they don't pay you? They
don't pay. Well, the business owner doesn't pay us.
Somebody's got to pay you.
The lender pays us when
Nice.
the loan closes.
Nice. Okay. So, so I'm a business owner, and let's say I decided to use Lendio. What do I need to bring to the Lendio relationship to make me successful versus going to my banker? Because I know for my banker, they're going to want to see my tax returns and some financial statements, and they're going to want to see a picture of me in a zebra outfit, my social security number, and all that stuff, right? What do I got to do to work with Lendio?
Well, yeah, that's a great question. A lot of times, in addition to the things you've talked about, they're going to want a bank will want to see a financial forecast, business plan, and all that kind of stuff. Right. And Lendio, for us to be able to get you a full offer, there's usually we're going to need to see your bank statements. We want to see the inflows and outflows of what's happening with your bank account, cash flow. And usually that's easy online. You can go and download your bank statements or email them to us or other things like that. Okay. In some loan products, they might want to see your credit card transactions. So if you're a gas station, I want to see the transactions that are happening with credit cards. But then some loan products will want to see a tax return. Okay. And so they're not going to most of them aren't going to necessarily look at financials or business plans or things like that. They're going to look at data that is verifiable through a third-party source, which that's what I'm saying: credit card transactions, bank statements, tax returns. You can't doctor those in any way. Right. And, right. But if you can find out if you're going to qualify for those three pieces of data. But if you really want an offer, where that's what we try and do. We try and get you multiple offers from a few different lenders.
So you got to pick. Hopefully.
Yes, you can choose. Right. Yeah. If you want a real offer, then you're going to have usually those types of data. And other loan products might want other things too, but we simplify that and just say, okay, your match fund, here's what you need. Okay. So how many years do you need to be in business to really have a chance at this? That's a good question. It depends on the loan product. So there's actually some loan products where you can be a startup. Oh, okay. But to get a loan for the startup, you have to have a startup and good credit. Right. If you have a combination of startup background, that's a tough combination. Not too many lenders out there that are interested in lending in that scenario. But if you're a startup, you have good credit, there's probably some options for you. Otherwise, as soon as you hit 6 months, that's going to open up some new loan products for you. if you're 6 months in business and have revenue. So if there's any revenue that's verifiable again through bank statements or other things like that, that's just going to open up, additional loan products for you.
Okay. All right. Very good. So there's a lot of stuff out there right now for a business that wants to get some kind of lending. There's Cabbage and all these other things. Well, how is Lendio better than those, or why should I use Lendio versus something like that?
Yeah, it's because we have Cabbage and On Deck and Can and all of them at Lendio.
Oh, really?
And instead of you guessing and saying, which is the best fit for me, Cabbage or On Deck or Can or my bank, or, instead of taking all the time and going to each one of their websites and filling out their application, that's a long, painful, drawn-out process, and a lot of times you don't know which is the best fit for you. So the way to think of us is we are not the lender.
Right.
We're kind of like the kayak for small business loans. So
right.
Kayak has all the options there, but they make it simple to find what you need. And that's the same thing with us. We're going to make it easy for that business owner to figure out which loan product's best fit for them.
That's the perfect way to think about that. So I know Ann had some questions on something that you're working on that's pretty recent, actually.
Right. So we're really fascinated by this project you started called Faces of Main Street. First of all, it's a very bold goal. You're trying to interview all 28 million entrepreneurs in the country, which I think is just rad. So I kind of first just wanted to ask.
I said crazy.
Yeah.
But
we're going to end on rad. No, but I wanted to know, first of all, just how you plan on going about gathering those stories. Are people submitting? Are you going out there on the road and finding these people? How do you plan to accomplish this?
Yeah, so I think first of all, I'll take a step back with Faces of Main Street. For us, we see so many business owners that we talk about Lendio all the time. We're fueling the American dream.
Yeah.
We've got business owners that want to expand their business, want to start their business, want to hire employees, want to buy equipment. They've got some dream they're trying to accomplish. And we sponsored a bike road show basically from the West Coast to the East Coast, and along the way they stopped at all these businesses, and you sit there and you hear the stories of these businesses, and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
It's just the coolest thing to hear how they started and why they started and what their motivation was, and so we just, because we're passionate about that, we decided, hey, let's come up, let's create this place where the stories can be told, and we saw that there's a guy out there called he started a site called Humans of New York.
Yeah,
which is kind of the same thing. He went out and started taking pictures and telling these stories of people in New York, and it just, people got really excited about it. People started submitting their stories and their pictures, and we said, well, we should be doing that for business owners. We
That's
should be
cool.
telling stories of business owners across the United States, and so we came up with this concept of Faces of Main Street, and we launched it on Small Business Saturday, and
Nice.
and so we're asking for entrepreneurs to tell their stories. We're asking, we're doing a photo contest for photographers to go out and take pictures, and we're only like 10 days into it.
Yeah, I love it.
But we already have, I think, 60 different submissions of
Very
stories and business owners, and so
Very cool.
you got to start somewhere. And we're excited about it. It's just a cool, opportunity to tell the stories of business owners.
That's really, really great. I love it.
That's fantastic. So one of the things you kind of mention about these entrepreneurs is how hard they work and how inspiring that is. And so I wanted you to kind of, as you work with all these different entrepreneurs, to maybe talk about, is there such a thing as an overnight success with a business? Or I mean, have you run into that, or is it just a myth?
I'm sure there is, but I haven't seen it.
I haven't either. I'm looking for
Not
it.
yet. All right. Okay. We're going to stick with the hard work.
When I first started my first company, the predecessor to Lendio, when I first became an entrepreneur, you read about these entrepreneurs that in whatever magazine that built a company and flipped it and sold it. And we're driving Lamborghinis and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you caught up and excited about that. And I think that, personally, I feel like if you get caught up on that, you make short-term decisions that that come back sometimes and haunt you. And I've had a change of heart and change of tune around the way I want to build a business. I'm focused on, building a great business that solves a major problem, that helps people, that you feel good about. And so, I'm sure there are people out there who've had overnight hits and overnight wonders, and they just right place, right time. Of course it happened. But for 27.9 million small businesses in the U.S., it's probably the blood, sweat, and tears that we all go through early mornings and late nights. So.
I think that's a pretty good evolution, though. I think a lot of us go through that, because I've hit that point too. When I first started, I thought, let's grow something as fast as we can and just take over the world. And now it's all about answering a certain question, and trying to answer that question as best you can. And that gets me to work every day. That's what's fun, so that's really good.
I have one last question for you, Brock.
Yeah.
So when you have these entrepreneurs and these companies come to you and they're looking for funding, what do you see? Are there maybe one or two kind of common roadblocks that you see? They come to you, and is there something that, maybe you have to either turn people away or say, come back to us in a few months when you get to this place?
Well, a lot of times the business owner hasn't really taken care of their personal credit score.
Yeah.
And, you think I'm a business owner, personal credit doesn't matter.
Mm.
Problem is that business credit does matter, but there's not a whole lot of data around business credit to go off of.
Right.
So they just defer back to the business owner's personal credit.
Wow.
And I think it's important as a business owner to manage that and be proactive about what your credit is, and monitor that on a very regular basis, so that when the time is ready for financing, that you've got that in order, you know exactly where it's at. And so that's one of the pitfalls. The other thing is that, when you think about financing, if you put yourself in the shoes of whoever's lending you money,
yep,
and they're looking at, if I give you $1, will you pay me back?
$1.25, yeah,
or whatever it is,
yeah.
Right? And so sometimes, just like when you're in, with your personal credit, as you're young and you're going through high school or college or whatever, and you don't really have any credit established.
Yeah.
And so you might have to pay a little bit higher rate, or you have to earn the trust of lenders to be able to get your credit down and get your rates down.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with business owners. A lot of times you're going to have to start with something that, all right, I'm going to start here and I'm going to prove that I can pay it off, and then my next loan is going to be larger and my rate's going to be lower.
Yeah.
And I think if people think about it that way, they will eventually, show that they can pay off that loan, and they'll get the loan they want. So.
Right.
Cool. That's super helpful. Thank you. Yeah.
Absolutely. Brock, you're the best. Thank you for hanging out with us, man.
Thank you.
This has been great.
Thanks a lot.
I'm grateful for the interview, and love what you guys are doing.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So, again, as people come to us looking for financial help, we always send them to Lendio. Lendio is just such an awesome opportunity.
Super rad, yeah.
One place to get everything. So if you're a business owner and you're watching this, check out lendio.com. It's lendio.com. Go to them, fill out the application. It's a pretty easy application, right? You just fill out your basic needs, and then what happens?
Yeah, fill out your basic needs. You're going to be assigned to a specific loan specialist at Lendio.
Okay.
And so it's not just some 1-800 number. We've got, one of my team members will be assigned to that business owner.
Yeah.
And between online, all the data points we gather online, and our loan specialist, they'll walk you through that process and answer your questions and help you get to the financing you need. So, go online, sign up, and give us a try. And our commitment is that hopefully it's an experience you can tell your friends about.
Right. Excellent. Well, thanks again, Brock. You're the best.
Thank you. My pleasure.